Hey everybody, thank you so much for joining us for this online business briefing. And we are joined once again today by Medical Alarm Concepts Holding Incorporated, their ticker symbol MDHI. And as you know, they are the manufacturer of the MediPendant, the two-way voice personal medical alarm. We've had Ronnie on the show before. We've got some earlier audio interviews that you can listen back to. But so much is going on with the company, lots of news. The stock's been up, the stock's been down, but it looks like the company's poised for another breakout, so we're happy to have Ronnie here on the show. Ronnie, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, Stuart. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to stop by and speak with us here. Well, if you would, Ronnie, give us an update on what's going on there at Medical Alarm Concepts Holding. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Well, Stuart, the business is really going great. We have business going on a few fronts. First of all, our large retailer, it seems to be growing as the weeks go on. We have some big programs coming up. So we anticipate some really, really large sales over the next few months. We also have some international business. We've started doing business with Denmark. We also have business in other countries that I don't want to mention the countries right now, but we're going to have a nice international presence also. And we have a lot of organic business, people just calling the company and ordering the MediPendant. So we're real excited about what's going on right now and the future of the company.
Well, Ronnie, let's get into specifics then about that business model. Give us the trajectory of the company right now. How fast are you growing?
Well, the company is growing rather fast. Sales are really, really ramping up. While we do still have inventory, we're a little bit worried because with what we're projecting over the next few months, we feel like we're going to be running out of inventory and using quite a bit more. So we've actually placed additional orders for the future, paid our deposits down and waiting for those to be manufactured. And we're really, really excited about the amount of sales that we're projecting through the end of this year. Just as an example, in the past 24 hours, we have taken approximately 15 orders. Now, as a recurring monthly revenue item, that turns into a lot of money over the course of time. Just to compare that to the past, the 15 orders we've taken in the past 24 hours, 3 months ago we were taking 15 orders in a week. So 15 orders in a day. That's really showing some tremendous organic growth here with the company and with the recurring monthly revenue. And we're really, really excited about the growth that we're experiencing right now.
Excellent.
This week we are starting in on a Google AdWords campaign. And so we're really excited about that, too. And we feel like the growth, in addition to what we're experiencing now, is just going to be tremendous. So we're really excited as a company. This company has never seen this type of sales before. And we're really, really excited about what's going forward with us.
So, Ronnie, the key for any sustained and successful business model would be recurring revenue and those incremental sales. Talk to me about the business model for MDHI. Would you classify it as something that does have recurring revenues? Go ahead.
Well, again, the recurring revenue is growing at such a rate right now that we feel it's getting closer and closer to covering the entire overhead of the company, and that will be profitable very, very soon. That's what's really exciting us, because no matter what, recurring monthly revenue is revenue that comes in every month, no matter what. So that money comes in, pays the overhead, and any new business goes into more profit for the company. So it's a really exciting business model, and we are almost at that point where we are covering all of our expenses with our recurring revenue.
Well, Ronnie, let's jump into a press release. Listeners follow along, use that ticker symbol MDHI. Came out August 22nd. We touched on it a bit earlier. Medical Alarm Concepts begins shipments to Europe. So this is on top of your incremental sales. And again, as you mentioned in the opening, starting to ship internationally. Let's talk a little bit about these international sales. Go ahead, Ronnie.
Well, the international sales is really exciting to us because all of it is just an equipment sale, and it adds a lot of gross margin to our business model, and we don't really have to do anything other than just write an order. So we have some people that are interested in other countries and internationally, and we're gathering a lot of interest. Just this past week, we had emails and calls from Australia, Slovenia, in Ireland and Denmark. The Denmark deal is done. Actually, when I say Denmark, that's going to be all of Northern Europe. Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Belgium, that area right there. Holland, that's already done. And Ireland is done. Those sales will start coming in towards the end of the year. But then we've got other international interests. So we're excited about all the sales of the company. These equipment sales add a lot of gross margin to the bottom line. All we have to do is just customize the unit for the frequency. And it's just very, very exciting. I hope you can hear it in my voice.
Well, Ronnie, in the short term, it does seem like your company is on the path to profitability. Is that a good assessment on my part?
Yes, Stuart. Well, we feel like we are on autopilot. Every day orders come in, and we ship them out, and it just adds to our recurring monthly revenue. And when you take those orders, okay, and the recurring monthly revenue that's been coming in, plus the new ones coming in, and add into it the international business and the equipment sales that we are seeing, and we'll be seeing even more of going forward, we are definitely on the trajectory to making a lot of money in this company and being real profitable.
Well, Ronnie, in a review of the company's press wire, that's for MDHI, Medical Alarm Concepts Holdings listeners, I see a lot of balance sheets maneuvering and cleaning up. Talk to me about a little bit of this on the corporate side of things. Talk to me about the balance sheet cleanup.
Well, when we originally went public with the company, we had a lot of what we would call as toxic debt. It was a very painful experience in trying to clean it up and being funded with this toxic debt. We feel like we have cleaned up the balance sheet considerably. We have a whole new investor base in place. We feel like we're, along with being profitable in the very, very near future, the balance sheet is going to also be completely cleaned up so that there is no more toxic debt on the books.
Well, Ronnie, our listeners, of course, want to get into specifics. So specifically, talk to me about the cleanup of the balance sheet.
Well, several things has to do with, as far as the toxic debt, a lot of it has been forgiven.
Well, Ronnie, I also see a press release saying some warrants were canceled, significantly strengthening the balance sheet. Tell me more about that.
Well, approximately 165 million warrants have been canceled already.
Okay.
And all the remaining debt is now consolidated under one entity.
And, Ronnie, tell me a little bit about the working capital for the company right now.
Well, the working capital has been sufficient enough that we have paid off almost all of our accounts payable, and we have an extremely clean balance sheet now. So that really makes it a lot easier to grow the company.
You've talked to me before about the company's goal to become fully reporting once again. Talk to me a little bit about that area.
Well, Stuart, transparency is something that's very important to us, and we know that it's important to the investors. We've put that on hold while we used the available funds that we had in order to make sure that we had a business and a real business and a strong business going forward. Now we are ready. In September, we have our accountants coming in to start the process, auditing our books so that we can become fully reporting. It's going to take a little bit of time, but the process is going to start in this month of September.
Well, Ronnie, as we talked about earlier, sales are ramping up. You're in a very competitive space, but obviously there's something that consumers are latching onto with you and your company. Talk to me a little bit about the consumer's take on your product.
Well, this industry has been controlled by an item that you press a button and you reach emergency services, but in order to be able to have a two-way voice conversation with these emergency responders, you need to be near a central box that is plugged into a wall. If you're not near it, let's just say you're in the bathroom or you're outside, you won't be able to have a conversation with anybody. With ours, you can only speak and listen directly through the pendant that you wear. That's a huge advantage. It's clear, it's loud, and especially the senior market, they have no problem at all in hearing what's being said through our pendant. And, of course, the range is tremendous. They can get the product wet, which they can't do with most other products. It's just got tremendous advantages that no other product on the market has.
Well, let's take another look to the corporate side of things. Ronnie, talk to me about the capital structure for the company.
Well, Stuart, there's about 631 million shares outstanding in the company, which at today's current trading price gives us a market cap of approximately $2.5 million. But the reality is that once this company starts making a profit, which is just around the corner, this company will be worth much more than $2.5 million. The whole problem is that there's no transparency right now, but there will be within the next few months. And when we make these numbers available to the public, you're going to see a stock that's really going to be ramp up, because the value of the company is going to be much more than it is today. And I also want to mention that in most pink sheet companies, they don't really have a business. We have a real business. We have international business. We have credible retailers that are doing business with us. We have a real business. And going forward, we're going to be a really strong company. We have a unique, proven product. The population is growing older, and the people want to continue to live independently. Our balance sheet has been restructured, and we have major retailers and distributors as customers. And lastly, I just want to mention that we have the inventory in place and inventory on order. We have the working capital in place and no longer need to raise any additional capital to accomplish our business goals.
Well, listeners, once again, we are speaking with Ronnie Adams, the Chief Executive Officer for Medical Alarm Concepts Holdings Incorporated. And as Ronnie pointed out, the company is on autopilot to short-term profitability here, or near-term profitability, I should say. Obviously, we also went over that balance sheet cleanup for the company. And really, if you look at what the company's bringing in revenues-wise, it's at a ridiculous market cap right now. That's my assessment anyways, and my take on the company. And Ronnie, I want to thank you for your time here today. We look forward to more great things from you and your company in the remainder of 2012. Thanks, Ronnie.
Thank you, Stuart. Thanks for having me on.
All right, great. For Ronnie Adams, this is Stuart Smith saying thanks so much for listening.